Cues with Eileen. All right, we are officially recording. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Life and Curly Cues podcast with me, Eileen. Today we are on episode 20. Oh man, I just had it. We're on episode 26. It has been a while since you've heard my voice. It's because things happen. I don't make episodes. That's it. We're back. Whatever. Today I have another lovely guest for you guys, which actually I just met her not too long ago because of a crazy instance. But go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi, you guys. This is Quiana, aka Queue, here. I'm super excited to just share these cues of life with you.
Mm-hmm. I know, it's pretty great.
Privileged.
I'm excited because it's Life and Curly Cues, and today we actually have a cue.
Yes.
We have a cue on the episode.
Yes.
So go ahead and all right. So you're out of college?
No, I'm in college.
You're still in college. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What are you studying?
Marketing.
Okay. Fun. Yeah. So kind of in this realm-ish, maybe. Like
I want to get into
media-ish.
more social media marketing, of course. It's just the age we grew up in. So
yeah.
Of course, it's all I know. So, of course, I want to work in that.
Okay.
Don't know where and what yet, but I know it's going to be like a social digital marketing background.
Yeah. Cool. Well, the place I'm at is hiring right now, but they're in San Antonio. I'll talk to you later because I don't really talk about my job right now.
Send that link.
Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Q, what is the moment or a moment, you don't have to, okay, you're moving things already. Before I say that, my brother is in the background again today. So if you hear things in the background, that is him. You remember him from Davion's episode and the 2019 recap episode. That is my brother. You will hear often at times. But Q, what was the moment in life or in recent time, I don't know, wherever, where you were like, oh shit, I'm an adult now?
Dang. I don't know. So, backtracking a little bit, I think I didn't really realize I was an adult until really last year, to be honest.
Okay.
I've always had to grow up quicker than most people. Single parent mom, oldest sibling, oldest great-grandchild, grandchild type things. So I always had to adult or grow up quicker. But I really didn't experience being an adult until actually oh shit, I'm only me to rely on literally last year. Because even when I was quote unquote an adult, had a boyfriend, I was very sheltered growing up, then got into a serious relationship when I was in high school, lived with that guy. That was considered sheltering to me because it's the only person I knew. So it's just I didn't have to venture out on my own until last year when I was living on my own for the first time, really doing this stuff by myself.
By yourself.
Yeah. And financially doing it all by yourself, going to school, starting to meet new people, men, all of that was all ghetto 2019. And I thought I was going to leave the ghetto in 2019.
But we're here.
Like we're bringing in the ghetto in 2020. So, but it's better. It's good. So, yeah, I think it was last year.
Okay. Do you have anything? So, kind of last year was your year. Is there anything that you saw or remember as a kid that's a memory that you're kind of stuck with you as far as oh, I kind of want to do that when I feel like I'm an adult, or I don't want to do that necessarily?
Everything, I've been grateful, and I like to say thank God that I haven't been everything that I've done, even whether it was out of my will or not, God kind of see me through where it couldn't have never been in a negative light. So most of the things I've done is because I really wanted to do them. But I haven't done anything that I wouldn't never not want to do. Regret doing? Yeah. People who say they don't regret things,
they're lying.
Y'all are some bullshitters.
You regret that statement.
I definitely regret a lot of the things that I've done. But I guess the part where I say I don't regret is because I'm glad I went through them. So there's been some things that are a little too touchy to talk about.
No, yeah, you're good.
But there are some things more so is, I guess, having a woman as women in my family is very strong, very successful women, come from different backgrounds, change their lives dramatically, from different things. So like I really experienced being like, okay, like I get what they were going through women wise, like really finding myself as a woman. I still am. But like really understanding that I am a grown woman was last year, and having to, but understanding it, but also really like, knowing the truth behind it. Cause I can say I'm grown, obviously age wise on paper, I'm grown, but are you really? No. Until then I was like, okay, yeah, time to do grown woman stuff and handle myself as a grown woman. Cause like being a sheltered person now, like, it's like I go through things like drinking. I didn't start drinking until like last year. So drinking, doing anything, things that like, you know, college student stuff. Didn't do any of that until last year. And that is when I was like, okay, like I'm looking like I'm 16 in these streets when I'm actually 22 and I need to chill out. But when you get a taste of these things now, when you're supposed to be getting a taste of them beginning of college, it's like, you know, good thing I had good friends, good people around me that didn't judge me, let me be me. And understood, at least, so I didn't have that issue. So none of the things that I've ever done, it wasn't something I didn't want to do. So.
Okay. So kind of talking about college. So you're getting your bachelor's right now? Bachelor's. Okay. Yes. Bachelor's in marketing. Are you graduating this year?
So I wasn't going to tell people yet, but since we're here.
I mean, you don't have to tell people.
It could be a cool moment. It's a cool moment. So I'm actually transferring schools. Okay. No one really knows.
Okay.
But I'm in the process of transferring schools. I'm actually transferring to Texas State. And from Texas Women's University to Texas State. Fun. Their business school is 10 times better. I love TW. I will always rock TW to the day I die. But their business school isn't the hottest. They're more like a liberal arts school. If you want to be a teacher, nurse, all of that. If you're artsy fartsy, all of that is a good school to go to. It's probably one of the best ones, honestly, to do. They do have for a lot of stuff now. If you're a graduate student and you're going for business, I suggest it because they have so much more resources for people who want to grow their business, want to do more, and like fund your business and things. Like that is a good school for you for grad school. Or if you're a mom in any of that sense, like anything women based, if you're a feminist, all of that is a great school to go to. Nice. For sure. But I just feel like Texas State was more of a thing for me just because it's a competition. I'm a minority, so everything I need to do, I've taken consideration. Like, I have all the privileges. Like, I'm not the same type of people like, oh, I'm black, I don't get the same things from other people. No, I'm black and I get just as many privileges. I have my own black privilege, you know what I mean? So I kind of switched the narrative about what you can't say and what you can't do. No, I have my own privileges. I make my own rules. I've always been the type of person. Women-wise, like I can do everything you can do, if not better, type of thing. So that's just my spiel. But yes, I'll be in the process of transferring.
That's exciting.
So I'm really excited about it.
Alma mater right there.
I'm actually excited.
Okay. So then could you say, is the process of transferring essentially, what does that look like? Because, I mean, I stayed at the same college all 4 years. I considered transferring, but I never did. I just stayed there. How is that process like? Or how does that kind of affect?
Actually, for me, it's a lot easier. So when I went to going to school to Texas Women's, I didn't really have a choice. My family was like, Brianna's got scholarships and money to go to TWU. You're going to. It's a cheap school. You're going. So me transferring here, the only issue I had is like postponing graduation, but I was already dealing with postponing graduation with TW because they didn't want me getting in classes. They're all booked up. Or we only offer this in the fall, not the summer type of thing. So I would have stayed longer in school. I would have been done. But they just wanted to stay longer. And I said, you know what? I'm here with my family. I'm here in this area. I'm back home. I have no desire to want to go. There's nothing there for me. I mean, other than my good friends and relationships, but there's nothing there. And I'm like, well, I have an opportunity to go to a good school, you know, higher level school, bigger name anyways, probably same level, but, you know, better business school in a sense. So I was like, I have the opportunity to do it. I can get in. I'm going to take it. And I mean, essentially it's going to be longer, but at the same time, I get way more opportunities. One things I hate about going to smaller schools is that they're so catering to their students. Grades wise, professors wise, I have some great relationships with professors, but when you're at the same companies that come to like career fairs and stuff, they don't come to TW. Like you won't see Facebook there. You're not going to see
because it's a smaller
Google. You're not going to see certain companies be there. You're going to see companies in the area maybe, or if you're in a specific field that TW caters to, then yes, you'll see all of those. But like, it's not the same as when, you know, companies are like that, or GoDaddy, or things that you would want to get into. They're going to go to those bigger schools. Okay. It's just what it is. So, and being a business major is business. Yeah. It is what it is. Like, you learn this. So I had to do what I had to do. And so it's going to be a little bit longer, but not that much, because I found out all of my credits are transferring. So we thank God.
That is phenomenal.
I have some Texas State stuff to do. So that's why it's taking me a little longer. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I would be graduating the same time.
Nice. So that's impressive. Well, I'm excited for you. I am excited I love Texas State. So
you go there?
I went there. That's where I graduated. That's where I got my degree.
See. Yeah.
Okay. So now kind of thinking into the future and looking into like adulting and all that stuff, what would be your ideal, like, we're gonna manifest it today, okay? We are manifesting it.
We confess some things that's real in here, okay?
We're gonna manifest it. What would be your like ideal dream, like, quote unquote big girl job, like your first, unless you've already had kind of like a quote unquote big girl jobs.
I actually had some great jobs.
Okay, so we'll talk about those in a little bit. But manifesting it, what would be your ideal, like, this is the job for me, this is what I want to do?
I guess it's probably every business person's mindset is to be their own boss.
Be your own boss.
I know that's so cliche and so, but it's so much more real now.
I was gonna say it's really relevant.
It's so
to
much
the
more
times.
real. But I guess the difference is I want to catch that curve of people now. Like, we are in this age where 18-year-olds, hell, 15-year-olds are millionaires.
Yeah.
I want to be on that wave. I want to be, it's a different type of hunger now. Like, it's not the same as being your own boss. No, I want to be my own boss, but create generational wealth, do all these things, because you just have so many more avenues now. It's more than just investing. It's more than just that. It's just like, I want to, but I'm also humble in a sense where I want to have my cake and eat it too when it comes to having a family and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I really, really, when it comes to like a dream job, I want to just be in every avenue I can. But anything that I touch and do, I want to impact others. Okay. I'm not the type of I'm not a money hungry person. I'm not trying to be out here like Trump. I'm not trying to be out here because he's a great businessman. But there's like a lot of people that I admire when it comes to business, but I want to do it different. Just because I'm so-and-so, and these are not people I'm talking bad about or anything like that. It's just, I don't want to say who's someone famous is business. Let's say, we're going to say LeBron, you know, like he does so much for the people or whatever, but I want to be more than just like that name. I want to say I touched other people's lives. Okay. Just as much money as I put into my business, I want to put that or more into other people's lives and changing things. You can have all the money in the world. You can be so powerful, but if you're not taking care of what's at home, then what you doing? Yeah, like you're not all living your people, a good life. I cuss and I say niggas, so all my niggas on my flight, if they're not on my flight with me, what am I really doing? Yeah. If they're not all riding for first class, what am I doing? If people like me, if there's little girls like me, and I'm not instilling the same things or being that person, because it's okay to have, like, I've always looked up to people. When I found someone I really liked, found someone I wanted to be, I always looked up to them, watched their every move. I live my life on saying, like, I watch what the greatest do, and the greatest aren't always the biggest one on the telephone screen, the TV screen or whatever, or on social media. It's really like who I can really touch and feel and talk to, and literally like actually can instill things in me. Like my biggest, so like, for example, the biggest person in my life that's like super businesswoman, business savvy is my godmom. She's worked for top companies. She's come from the dirt, and she's made a living off of just being Keisha and being the best she could be as a Black woman. On top of, I do have obviously every Black girl's favorite person to me when it comes to business or just being a successful Black woman, obviously, is Michelle Obama. First, foremost, that's she's idol. Okay?
She's amazing.
But like, obviously that's the thing. Mm-hmm. But it's like, you want to be able to touch and feel and like hear and actually be on a phone, like call those people. Like, I want to be able to talk to Michelle Obama whenever I need an answer, but we don't have that luxury, of course. So I want to be that person to where I can.
You can have
those connections, and only to people who deserve it too. I'm not trying to just put give game. Game is not free. Okay, we don't be giving game for free like that. So, definitely. But that's something I feel like if I could be a successful, be your own boss, but also instill in others' lives, I'll feel like the richest woman in the world.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, snaps all around for that. Manifested it
Yes,
here.
we did. And it's going to happen. Okay? It is going to happen.
So going back to what you said earlier, your other jobs you've had in the past. So for me, how old am I? I'm 24. Yes, I'm 24, and I've only had an actual handful of jobs. I haven't had a lot of jobs, and they're very, very odd jobs. I worked retail for a children's clothing store for 4 months. I worked
real short.
It was the seasonal at the outlets in San Marcos. It was the worst.
Bring that up.
Yep.
You said the outlets.
That was freshman year of college. Like, oh, no. And then I was an RA at Texas State for essentially 3 years. And then
gotta get that free housing.
Girl, I lived in a dorm all 4 years, and it saved me
that.
so much money.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I loved it, but it
Nothing's
saved me so much money. Yes. Simultaneously, episode 26, I still cannot talk, y'all.
Same, I can't. I'm country as hell.
Same time being an RA, I worked at a massage clinic as a receptionist. Okay. And then after that, because I worked those 2 jobs essentially for 3 years. And then I worked as a camp counselor at SeaWorld. And now I work where I'm at now. So yeah, literally only a handful of jobs. And I started working when I was 18.
Girl.
So that's
I started
it.
Working.
So what has your job experience been like? What are the types of things you've had?
I've had crappiest jobs to some of the best jobs and the funnest jobs. The best job I've ever had, well, on paper, let's say the best opportunity job I've gotten, because I thought I was going to be Olivia Pope. She thought
she was going to have her own Scandal TV show and everything.
I thought Beto was going to be the president. I was in there. Okay, I was working for Beto as a student fellow.
Okay,
internship.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was so much fun promoting, just getting out there and vote.
Yeah,
his campaign was, of course, we're supporting Beto, but at the same time, as younger people in college, we're supporting people just to get out and vote whoever you're voting for.
Exactly.
I learned so much from that internship. Meeting new people, how to contact people are so rude. People don't like, in America, people do not like people knocking on your door randomly. They don't like any of that. Did you read that
sign we have on our door?
Yes. And it's so real because people are weird in America. It's not the same if you went to a different country. But yes, that was probably one of my greatest opportunity jobs. And that was really successful. It helped me get other internships. I worked for like IT companies. Okay. Most of my jobs though, and where I've kind of moved up in, was retail. I thought I was going to be Prada's Devil's Wears Prada, but retail is a scam. I'm just kidding. Retail opens a lot of doors for some people, depending on where you got into. Because I got into, higher department stores. I started off in Dillard's and only moved up from there. I haven't really did other retail stores like Journeys and stuff like that. I've only stayed in big department stores. So it's from Dillard's to Nordstrom's to Neiman's. You name it, I've been in some top stores. Yeah. Neiman's the last, and the higher you get up, the worse I thought it was. I honestly just didn't like the clientele. Don't get me wrong, I met some cool celebrities, Instagram famous people at those jobs. It was really cool. But the more money people get, the more funny they act. And I noticed I didn't want to be that way. Okay. But look, I love clothes. I love fashion, to dress and stuff. So seeing the different sides of it all, I kind of figured out my own style and what I want in life. So being in things where I'm not used to. When you're in college, you can't afford half the stuff. Even if you have the discount, you can't afford half the stuff in there. So the most I got was some makeup out that them stores. So yeah, I just knew what I wanted. It helped put the perspective of what I wanted in life. I want these things, so I'm gonna work hard to get them. But retail, I've had retail jobs. I did do one of my favorite jobs was when I worked for a bridal store. I was like an assistant, and then I moved up to where we were going to buyers' offices and stuff. Oh, shit. Things that I was wanting to do. Yeah. Wanted to do in retail and bigger companies, but I did it with a smaller company. Actually, like a self-owned bridal store,
like
of course.
A boutique
but
type.
Getting to go to those, I was so close to getting to go to an actual runway thing, but I was going to college. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's
shout out to Miss Betty for all those in all that. She helped me get all those things. But yeah, I've had some really good jobs. So I've never had a problem I'm having a harder time getting jobs now. I think it's just because I'm out of the area. I'm not accustomed to the Austin, Central Texas area like that. I was accustomed to it as a kid. So all I know is kid stuff. I don't know how it was as an adult. So I don't know who to talk to. I don't have connections now here. Yeah. So I'm sure it'll come over time. But
yeah. It will. I think so. That's impressive.
Thank you.
All the things you've
done.
For
me to be in college and having to work so much.
Exactly.
And I'd almost like have it now 2 extra years in college, and you're supposed to graduate in 4, but cut it out. It's not happening over here.
Had I not done summer school, I probably would have been like a super senior. But I did the summer school, and I just needed to get out of there fast.
Do what you got to do, girl.
I needed to.
Look, change your major. Do what you got to do, because it's honestly, if I knew better, because what I want to tell people who don't have the money to go to college right off rip, whether you get government assistance or not, if you don't have the money for school, do what's cheaper.
Yeah.
Do not. I don't want to say,
and school's going to be there forever.
Right. I don't want to say not go to school, because I'm a big advocate on getting your education, especially when you're, women of color, men of color, get your education. They want you to not have those things. So go get it. Because there are more opportunities. Yes. Honestly, not saying that we have.
It gives you more of that credibility.
Do have opportunities as well, but we get more financial things than they do. Purposely because they have more finances to take to go to those schools, but we do have those opportunities to get them, so we need to use them. So use that as your privilege. So, but when it comes to that, I definitely would have did it over. I would have went to different colleges that, I was dancing at the time. So I was a, dancer, wanted to be a Cowboys cheerleader type of thing. And had scholarships from schools that I should have went to, but I wasn't thinking the name. I was thinking the name and wanted the full college experience. So I should have done those things. Same. I could have been way skinnier.
That's how I feel. I did cheerleading in high school, and I'm like, man, if I had really taken it seriously, I could have been in so much shape right now.
And the thing is, I took it seriously. I took everything in school seriously. I had the grades, everything. Did good in every organization I was in, and I completely was listening to others, and I should have listened to myself. Whether it was family or not, I listened to them. It wasn't listening to me, and I should have did what I want to do. But I do suggest, if you ain't got no money for it, make it cheaper and you go to community college. Yeah. And do those things. Don't go get a job first. That's my biggest thing. Get some money first to go to school.
Yeah.
And you'll figure out that way, because you gotta make sometimes you gotta make your opportunities happen for you.
Exactly. And sometimes even the life experience itself will help too. So like, I went straight to Texas State, graduating high school, stayed there all 4 years, had a quote unquote job right after lined up in kind of the field I wanted to, and then left that seasonal job, got the job I'm in right now. And I have not been in school since 2017. That's when I graduated. And when I graduated, I told myself, I'm done. No more school. I can't do it. And so these past 3 years, I've been, couldn't do math. These 3 years, I've been building that life experience. And now I'm getting at the place where I'm like, okay, I think I could try going back to school now. Since I'm in a whole different field than what I had studied.
Master's, girl.
Yes. Since I'm in a whole different field, now I'm looking at online master's degrees and all that stuff just to further my education. Because I'm now in the education field.
So where did you get your...
I got my degree in aquatic biology.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Bachelor's in aquatic biology with a minor in chemistry. That was my degree at Texas
to be a scientist.
I wanted to be like... My goal at that time was, which initially my initial goal was be a marine biologist. But
Texas State was a good school to do that in.
Texas State, yeah, they didn't offer marine biology, but they offered aquatic biology. And I loved every second of it, because there's the debate of, do you choose a degree that you love, that you probably won't get money in, which was my degree, or do you choose a degree that you're not so much into, but you'll be able to get money in the long run because of the more opportunities that degree will provide you.
I was privileged in a sense of having family members to tell me. They were always adamant on me doing what I loved, but also do what's gonna get you some money, because you can do what you love with money. You not saying that money's the king of all things, because you can do whatever you want to do. Yeah.
But
if you have the
money
willpower
helps
for it,
a little bit.
money's gonna help you. And so I was like, okay, you know, I want to be an actress. I always wanted to get in acting. I always wanted to be in someone's face. I wanted to be on the TV. I wanted to do all of that. I just never, I had some big things and just never really kind of stuck. So I was just like, let it go. But I was like, you know what? Once I get old enough and I can be in someone's face, Johnny, it's gonna be me and you.
He has the headphones on right now, and he just wanted to hear it. Sure.
I'm testing it out. And
testing.
Now I can hear you.
Oh my God.
Wait, don't I say anything?
My guitar is very out of tune. I have not tuned it in a long time. Sorry to tell you, but
God. Johnny's annoying.
Yes,
yeah.
I grew up with him.
I literally cannot tell if it's the guitar making the noise or inside the headset if it's making the noise, because the guitar is kind of loud.
You're an idiot.
I'm gonna need you to fill it out, figure it out. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, so I did scientist, and my overall goal was to do research and rescue for marine animals. Since I got the aquatic biology degree, it was going to be like all aquatic life, kind of doing more research work. When I graduated college, though, the jobs I wanted or I had envisioned for myself were very hard to get, because you needed a lot of field experience, which in college, my whole thing was, I'm not going to sign up for internships, which is kind of where I messed up in myself. I'm not going to do internships because I have to make money to pay my life. Because by that, I got my car my sophomore year. And like I said earlier, I paid for it myself entirely.
Right.
And so I needed a job that was going to allow me to make my almost $400 a month payments.
That's what I tell people. When you go to school, only kids with daddy's money, mommy's money, or just support,
get those internships,
or good support system, or, you know, support financially, whatever, can go to school full 4 years and just do school.
Yeah.
And like, even with being in I know a lot of people in your, not in your field, but in that science realm, like if you're not going for a doctor or nursing, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get jobs.
Exactly. And
the jobs, the internships you're going to get are you're not getting paid. Like, you're not getting paid anything, really.
And all the internships that were in my field when I was in college, they were all unpaid internships. You got a stipend, but it wasn't a big stipend.
No.
And I wasn't going to be able to live off of that. So every summer, I was working over the summers. I didn't have time because I needed to pay for things in my life.
And that was my biggest struggle, too.
So that was the problem when I graduated. I couldn't get the jobs I wanted because I didn't have the quote-unquote experience that they wanted. My experience came from what I did in the classrooms.
And that's why I took too long in school. I knew better. I was like, okay, and being a business major, they're going to want to see you.
They want to see more on there.
They want to see you work. They want to see you work for it, whether it was working at a job. They rather see someone with, they don't care about the GPA. Honestly, grad school does, but people who want you and they like working, they want to see like you having worked.
Yes.
For your stuff. And so that was my biggest thing. I needed some work experience, and I needed to create opportunities for myself, and that was what I did. And that's why it's taking me an extra 2 years at school.
It's taking me forever to figure out what I want to do with my life, and I'm still trying to figure that out.
But, and I hear so many friends deal with so much of that outside of they graduate and then they aren't doing things they want to do.
And I always envisioned myself, we would go to SeaWorld as children all the time. And so I always saw myself working at SeaWorld. And so when I graduated, my first job after I literally graduated like the beginning of May, had 1 week left on all my jobs. That following week, I was already working at SeaWorld. So it was instantly, but it was a seasonal. I was a camp counselor. So I had gotten a job in the education field, but I was teaching kids about the animals I had learned about my entire college. Like, even working at SeaWorld, you have to know about every single animal there before you can even step foot into the park. Like, they test you on what you are talking about.
Dang, they don't play good, which is good.
They don't play. You need to know your shit if you're working there.
Have you considered to like work at like museums?
So right now I work at a zoo, which is a nonprofit. And so now my goal in life has kind of shifted to, rather than working with animals, either that would be still the dream, but now I kind of am leaning more towards working and educating I am now wanting to teach people about the animals that I've learned about, and the animals in the water.
Remember teaching girl at TWU.
And so I got this job, and it's a preschool. And so when I started, I worked as like an after school person, and then for one whole year I was an assistant teacher, had a temporary lead teacher moment, and now I'm an administrator in the school. Okay. And so since being there for the past 2 years, it's kind of shifted how I want to progress, which is why now I'm like, environmental education. I can still talk about still talk about the animals, but teach like kids and stuff like that. And so that's why I always mention, I'm like, I went to college, got the degree in what I wanted, couldn't get the jobs I wanted, so I kind of shifted it where it's still...
You find something you're passionate about.
Yeah, still pretty relevant to what I got my degree in, because I can still share my knowledge with people. Like, I have... The only textbooks I ever bought in college were the ones relevant to my major. And so every once in a while, I'll just look through them and be like, all right, there they are. This is the information I want to share today.
Like, it's kind of like... That's what my parents always taught me, or my grandparents. Is like, they were always saying, like, you're going to find... It's kind of like... Everyone who gets a finance degree don't really like what they do. It's a lot of accounting and a lot of, stuff, but then you find what's passionate in it. Like, I'm actually helping these people with their life. I'm helping them buy their house. So like, you find their passion in the things that you want to do, even though you don't want to do them.
Exactly.
So that's why I was like, I personally love that idea, but also I'm a big advocate of not settling and making your own opportunities. So like, with your aquatic degree, like, you can do your own stuff. For the organization to go see these animals and stuff like that. That is
kids. like the dream is to thing. Like you said, be my own boss type of thing. Because the more I work in a zoo, I see myself working with a nonprofit in the future, or creating my own nonprofit in the future, or working in some zoo or aquarium type thing, and kind of getting that life experience to be able to do something on my own. Because education gets you so much, but you also need that mix of like life experience to be like, okay,
right,
I've been through this, let's bring it together.
Exactly.
And kind of make a baby.
Yes. Well, later on I'm gonna tell you some avenues, just because I'm big on, like, I don't know, when I do like my own business and stuff, I want to help people like figure out their focus. Like, I feel like that gray areas where I want to focus in, it's like helping people identify themselves and what they get. So like, with you having your aquatic degree, like, have you ever considered just doing like being like a lifestyle change traveler, like kind of like what you see in Discovery Channel, like these people that go out and see those like animals do this different things, but like a female side, you don't see that often.
You don't.
So like, doing your own thing, maybe your own vlog, your own thing.
And I think that's kind of what...
Imagine seeing a Puerto Rican princess, and that's, traveling the world with the different fishes. Like, look.
Hey, mate, we got here a barracuda.
Okay.
And that's kind of what I've been starting to do. I have been starting to follow travel bloggers and all that stuff, and I've been starting to kind of turn myself into like a traveler, because I do want to travel the world, and I do want to see all the animals in the world, and I want to talk about the animals in the world. And so anytime I get to travel, like last year, 2019, I called it my year of travel, because I went so many places. Like, I didn't even go abroad I mean, I went abroad for my birthday, but that was it. But I didn't go abroad anywhere. I stayed within the States, but everywhere I went, I talked about the area. But then what comes to mind is when I went to San Francisco, and I've always wanted to see Pier 39, the one that has all the sea lions on it.
Oh.
And we finally got to see it, and I was able to share my knowledge with my family who was with me at the pier, how to tell the difference between sea lions and seals, because everyone gets them confused, and there are clear distinctions.
Girl, they look the same to me. Exactly. Oh, look at that seal.
And then I'd be like, it's a sea lion. So sharing that knowledge, and then even I have a YouTube channel, and on my YouTube channel, I post these clips of these podcast episodes, but I'll also post travel vlogs. That's all I put on YouTube. Anytime I travel, there will be a vlog about it. And so in that San Francisco vlog that I made, I shared it in the video. Like, I knew this was a male sea lion because of its sagittal crest. And if you don't know what that is, it's the bump on its forehead.
And these are the things that people want to learn and listen to. People want to see, like the same beauty bloggers.
No. I mean, we love them, but...
We do. I watch so many weird stuff on YouTube. personally because it's free.
Yes.
Go YouTube for being free.
Honestly.
But also, just I like listening to different things. This is not
on there. Yeah.
I've never seen before. It kind of brought him like when you're just in your like I'm from a country town, so it's like I'm only seeing this. You get to see so much more. So it's being able to see a female do the things that males get to do. Like you really don't see females getting tried. It's not safe. They like to say it's not safe.
It's not safe.
So just being able to do that stuff.
Yeah. And so
I think that'd be so cool for you.
Yeah, and that's what I've been starting to do. So my birthday is December 28th. So it's right there, right after Christmas, right before New Year's. So 2 years ago, I went to New Orleans with a friend for my birthday. And since going to New Orleans that time, I told myself, okay, I want to start a tradition. Every year for my birthday, I want to go somewhere. Last year, I made the big jump because I have had a passport since 2014. I only have one stamp in it from Costa Rica. That's it. And that thing expires in 2024. And I said, I only have one stamp. I need to go places. And so I told myself,
flights are cheap right now.
I know, girl. I know. I've been looking at them. If I didn't have a full-time job.
I already booked 2 flights. Like, look, I'm about to go to LA, then Vegas, and I'm trying to go outside the country too.
Yeah. And so I decided, okay, it's going to be my birthday again. Duh. I want to go somewhere this year. Where should I go? And I start thinking, and I'm looking at places in the States, but then I'm like, I look at my passport. I'm like, it's so sad. It's so empty. It needs a friend. And I decide I want to go to Canada. So I spent the whole year trying to figure out where I wanted to go in Canada, all that stuff.
Nice.
So I went to Calgary.
Oh, okay.
I decided to go to Calgary because the year prior I had seen 2 YouTubers that a family YouTuber and a nail girl, and I follow them, and they both went to Banff, which is 30 minutes outside of Calgary, and I fell in love with how it looked in the wintertime because they went around my birthday, and I was like, So every time I searched, I kept coming back to Calgary. I searched other places, I kept coming back to Calgary. So I was like,
you need to go, girl.
I said, that's it. I'm going to Calgary.
We're going to
then
Calgary.
came, do I make this a solo tradition? Or do I make this like where I try to bring a friend? And that's kind of where it started to get a little messy because
anytime you bring some extra people in it, girl.
When you bring extra people, then you got so much to worry about. But then being a girl, being Latina, being young, solo travel, it's very taboo. Like a lot of people are like, girl, the world's scary. Like, are you really going to
scare you into it?
Exactly. And so I was fighting a lot of that I just wanted to prove it to everyone. Like people know the situations they're in. If you're conscious enough to be like, why is this I just bumped the mic. Why am I going to put myself into a situation if I know it's going to be a bad situation? Like, I'm going to walk away from that situation.
Right. We're not going to do anything crazy.
Yeah, I'm not going to stay.
And we know if you're traveling, especially for me as a woman, I know just traveling in the States is kind of sketch. So I just spend extra money on the things that keep me safe.
Yes, exactly.
So, like, I don't like driving in like, I'll get Ubers and stuff like that, but I prefer to be in the facility. Like, if I say I go to Houston for a weekend, I'm going to be in downtown Houston. I'm getting my hotel, Airbnb, whatever in downtown Houston. Just because if I am in an Uber, it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes away. You staying outside of Houston and like, it's cheaper to stay there, but then you driving all the way. That Uber driver can do something to you, all that. So, granted, it's not that it's hard. It's harder for us to go, but I don't think we should scare ourselves.
Exactly. You shouldn't be scared to do it. So come October is when I booked my flights. And once I booked my flights, it was a done deal. Like, I'm going by myself.
Exactly.
So I booked it by myself. And my parents were very skeptical at the beginning of me planning this whole trip. But I involved them in the process. So every time I made a decision, I would tell them about them to kind of like reassure them a little bit. And every time I brought it up to friends or to other family members, especially being in the Hispanic family, when you tell your family you're going on a solo trip out of the country to a place you've never been. 9 times out of 10
ain't happening. I don't know how. I want to know how it happened.
Girl, every phone call I was on, my mom would be like, she's going to Canada. And they're like, fun, by herself. Mira, nena, ¿qué? You're going where? By yourself?
Oh, my goodness.
And I'm like, yeah. And so I booked a hotel. I booked my flights. My hotel was downtown, so I was walking distance between everything. I rented a car for the entire week I was there.
That's one thing you could do by yourself,
yeah.
too.
I rented a car, and the main reason for renting the car was because I wanted to drive out to Banff, and I wasn't going to pay $30 for an Uber front and back when I could just rent a car for the whole week. And so that's what I did. And so now every year I'm going to go somewhere, and I will make a vlog where I have a adventure wall that I'm starting that whenever I go to a different country, whenever I go to a different country, I'll do that. And so I have a vlog from Canada, which will be 3 parts. I will not be up anytime soon. I have not even started editing it, but I did a lot of like outdoor nature things. So I went to the zoo. I went to the wolf dog sanctuary. Okay. So I did a lot of fun stuff. So I want to start doing that, but I essentially can only do it like once a year because I have to save.
But the more you do it, the more you get support, the more people see it. Once you get that support and the followers, they're going to support you.
Exactly.
And financially, it'll happen for you. And you need some help with that. I got you on securing these deals. Okay. But yes, definitely.
So that is something I'm leaning towards, is to travel more and kind of spread the knowledge that I've learned in my years of school and in my years of being at this preschool, because this preschool is a unique preschool. And so all that type of thing. But yeah, we kind of went off on lots of tangents right there.
We love it. They love to hear it too.
I was about to say, I don't know where y'all left.
I know. We just got on tangents.
I zoned back in. And there was something else talking about.
But that's what this podcast is about. We're talking about life and all the questions there are in life and all the things.
I'm interested to tune into Johnny's time for his...
Oh, his episode, girl. His episode, we also went off on lots of tangents.
Yeah, the first one was pretty interesting.
Oh, I gotta listen to it.
Yeah.
The second one I think I did with Chris.
The second one he did, it was with all 3 of us.
Oh my god.
It was a sibling episode.
That one was pretty fun.
That one really, I had to cut out a lot because we went on way too many tangents. And I was like, we cannot have this out on the internet at all.
The raw version would have been
It would have been. But before we get to the final section of the podcast, do you have any questions for me about anything?
Yeah, so
okay.
Like, I'm still in college, post-grad. What do you suggest for like a person like me that's like, I have the work experience, I have these things, and like, what should I do? Like, after college?
Would shoot your shot. Yeah. Wherever it is to shoot your shot, shoot your shot. I waited too long to shoot my shot. Because I would say apply to as many jobs as you want. Even if you have like, boy, stop messing with the microphone. You can hear you're messing with it. Exactly.
I was testing it.
But yeah, I would say like that last semester that like, okay, this is my last semester. I'm graduating this semester. Start for sure like applying to jobs and kind of opening as many doors as you can in a way. If you wait too long, then you will be in a time where you're unemployed for months and you kind of don't know what to do.
I've noticed that curve of people that most people fall into that unemployment area.
That
like,
was me for a few
months. How you
months.
Spend all this money on a degree and like you don't have a, something,
exactly.
You know what I mean? People go back to school, So that's why I'm a little
I
nervous about
that,
because I'm having good jobs now. And I know, like, sometimes you got to create your own opportunities, but at the same time, like, I need the money to do the things. Like, I know I am a person that has a game plan. I kind of know what I want. I just need to secure that dream job, in a sense, dream corporate job.
Yes. And so I would say just apply to as much as you can. Apply to, especially if you're in this whole marketing business realm, apply to remote jobs where you can work from home. Apply to jobs, whether it be like a receptionist for like a big company. Apply for it, because being a receptionist at like any big company, you can move up because you'll be the receptionist. You'll start kind of learning more about the company. You'll kind of know the workings of it, and then from there you can like move up. You'll know who to talk to and all that stuff. That's what I recommend. Don't wait, because like I mentioned, I had my job instantly right after college, but it was seasonal. It was only for the summer. I waited too long towards the end of that job to start applying for other jobs. I heard back from none of them. I applied anywhere and everywhere. Did not hear back. I was unemployed for like that second half of the year from, I want to say, I extended my season at SeaWorld till November, But from August to November, I only worked every other like weekend. So I was not making money. So I was still kind of pretty much unemployed at that time.
Yeah.
From August to December, I had no job. I was not making any money. Those months were the months where I had to come to my parents and be like, I can't pay my car this month. I need help paying my car. I applying everywhere, not hearing from anyone, and no one's taking me. So the earlier you can start applying for a job that'll be essentially there when you're done,
Really is better.
the better. If you wait too long, then you're going to be unemployed. And you'll be like, fuck, what do I do?
Yeah.
Because those unemployed months for me.
Like, when do you apply? Like, okay, like you're still in school. I guess some jobs are like, you know, like once you get your degree.
Yes, exactly.
Type of thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there will be some jobs where they'll work with you, where they'll be like, okay, you graduate so-and-so. Before you graduate, we can meet every once in a while. And then when you graduate, we'll go head on. Or there could be jobs where you interview with them and they really like you for the job. And you tell them, and they want you to start right away. And it just depends. Like, if the company really wants you and they like feel so passionate for you, they're going to work with you. They're going to see the potential in you.
Probably even hire you regardless.
Exactly.
Though.
They'll hire you regardless and be like, you're hired. We can wait a few months till you're done with school for you to come start with us.
Okay.
But shoot your shot is really what I can say. Don't wait to shoot it.
Okay.
If you see the opportunity, go for it. And even with social media, like, you could be a social media manager for any company nowadays.
Yeah. So.
You really could. And I have a friend who I don't even know how she found the company, but she's been on the podcast a couple of times, and she got a job as a social media manager for a company, and she works from home. And she's a part-time employee, but she's getting paid good for just part-time. And she can move up to full-time. She can move up to working for the corporate. Like, it's anything like that. But especially with marketing, social media manager, every company needs that now. Everybody needs that now.
It's the new marketing.
It really is.
It really, to be
it
honest.
really is.
So.
And it's quote unquote easy is very loose, but it's a very, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's a good job. Because in my job right now, I'm kind of a social media manager, but it's not my title, but I do the social media for the school.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
As one of my duties in my position.
Okay.
Because I did social media for the dorms that I lived in. So that's where so I have no traditional experience when it comes to social media. Yeah. I just have
I know some people with my major, they don't even do what they're doing. And I refuse to go to school for what I learned and not do it. Like, y'all got me bent over if you think that I'm literally not doing what I'm
Yeah, that's like a $20,000 degree. Like, what?
That's the most expensive thing I own.
Yeah.
Okay, so
girl, my diploma, my $20,000 is right there. In the back of the shelf. Like, it's just sitting there.
I refuse. I refuse.
Oh, yeah, no. So, you're good. I'm glad I'm in a job where it's different from what I studied, but it's still relevant to what I studied.
Yeah.
Because I still talk about all that shit every day. But if I were in a job that was completely not related to anything science, I'd be like, what the fuck did I do for those 4 years?
Right.
Like, why would I put myself through that?
Right.
Like, yeah, I get it. I like it. But shit, make it work. You gotta make that money back somehow.
We have to.
But yeah, just shoot your shot. That'd be my recommendation. And now you got connections
Big facts.
now you got ties with my mama, and she's a San Antonio celebrity.
She already told me to send my resume over, so let me go ahead and do that tonight.
Yeah, she is San Antonio celebrity.
Send me that email, Johnny.
Yeah. She don't think she a celebrity. She is celebrity. She's an influencer. She's an influencer. She's a Facebook.
I don't think she realizes it. I don't think your mom realizes how much power she has.
She's very humble about it, but she does have a lot of power.
She does.
I
think she's big sleep. Like, sleep on the fact that she knows all of these people, and I'm like, woman, you just sitting. And she's big, chillin', humble as hell. But I don't think she knows the type of like influence she
knows she's a boss ass bitch, but
I think so. She knows, but it's like, she's been around it so much. That's like, it is what it is now.
Yeah.
I guess it's how, when you big bossing, that's how it is. Like,
yeah. And when you've been doing it for so many years as she has, But yeah, she's a
I
celebrity.
low-key feel like I can learn so much being just an individual, but being successful individually. Like, she's her own boss, but she works for a company that's
huge company.
Yeah.
Like,
and what's funny is like
company. Basically, really, the company works for her in a sense.
In a way.
You know what I mean?
And she doesn't get paid for anything. Like, it's her nonprofit. No one in her nonprofit gets paid. She founded the nonprofit. And then even with Facebook, like, Facebook doesn't pay her for things. Like, she's not an employee of Facebook, but she's kind of an ambassador for Facebook.
And that's
through
a
her
big
nonprofit.
deal.
Yeah. And she does all of this for, like, no money. Like, she's just the good Samaritan in the world.
Because it's not me. Some royalty. The hell?
Some bread this way.
Yeah. Any money she gets is just like and it's not even for her. It's donations.
But honestly,
for
I
the
feel like there's a
nonprofit.
reason why. There's a reason why she did what she did.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's when you know you're really successful. She's giving back to people that's
need
what I
it.
feel like true success
That's why
is.
she gets blessed.
I
That's why
truly
touching the
admire
stand.
her.
That's why she gets blessed so much, because all the stuff she makes, she doesn't keep it. She hands it all out to other people. And the more she hands out to other people, the more she
The more
receives.
they give.
Right.
The more they start to give to her. and the more
Preach,
she-
John Nee. This
This
man is single. He is a man of God. He's still a hot mess, and he gets whooped by Quiana. But
Welcome to Life and Curly Q's podcast, where we try to hook people up here.
period.
I'm a strong independent Hispanic male.
Okay, you better let them know.
A man of God.
All right.
In Jesus' name we pray.
Well,
Amen.
hallelujah. Well, we have gotten to the tail end of the podcast. So now we're going to get to the mug of questions.
I got it.
Yes.
And Q, before we get started,
I wrote it.
Okay.
my brother made a theme song, as he normally does, for the mug of questions.
Someone give him the mic.
We're going to, pardon
Just-
the audio. It's going to get a little weird right now.
Oh, it sounds like a heartbeat. Check 1 2. check 1 2. You
Let's
know
do
what it
this.
is. Let me test it out.
Yeah. They ain't ready for this.
It's funny because I made like a little jingle on my notepad. I real life made a jingle. Not even gonna lie.
I'm dead. Oh. Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
I feel it.
Let's
I'm really feeling it already.
I'm so excited.
This is. I've never done this before.
Oh
Please
my
don't judge.
God. I'm dead.
La 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 la.
A
Oh.
fool.
La 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 la.
I wish y'all could see him right now.
Okay. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it.
Will we ever get to the mug?
I might just go acapella. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Play the guitar.
Off the dome.
Off the dome. Here we go. La 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 la. La 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 la.
That's how. What's that movie called?
Sister Act.
Yes.
La 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 la.
Go ahead, hit it.
Want to figure it out. We have something en route. It's the mug of questions, nothing but blessings.
Yeah. We just need to add a beat to that.
We need a beat.
We just really needed it.
So we'll take it
Blessings.
to a garage sale later, and we'll make a full song, and that'll
Yep.
be the official jingle.
That's the hook. But let me get some reverb and then a little
Some
bass,
spice on that.
some spice. You know, I got Beyonce on the line. She says she'll feature. It's gonna cost some bread though.
Will Jason
But
produce?
no,
nigga, get on Dreamville.
No, Dreamville. Actually, I might go Dreamville.
Dreamville, for sure.
Oh, hold up. J. Cole calling me right now. I gotta go.
Ay. Well, thank you for that new jingle, Jonathan. Q, since you are the guest, you go ahead and pick the first question out of the mug.
So the mug of questions. I'm excited.
Yeah, so just pick one for right now.
Okay, so hopefully I get a good one. This one says, cake or pie?
That's a... Woo.
Y'all already know it's the cake. What you mean?
What kind of cake is the next question? We got to get into specifics here.
Yeah, now we gotta talk about icing. Are we talking?
Okay, y'all can call me whatever, but the real OG is vanilla cake with cream cheese icing.
with cream cheese icing
Cream cheese
on
icing.
vanilla cake?
Girl, so on the way you put not vanilla. Oh, I said vanilla.
Yeah, that's why I was like, that's a combination.
I mean, red velvet
Okay.
cake.
See,
Red velvet cake
There we
with
go.
cream cheese
I know.
icing.
I said that's
Where'd you get that cake from?
I'm dead.
There's no flavor
That's
in
because
that.
we have vanilla cake for Chris's birthday. Like, I think that's what we have at the house. So
I'm glad Johnny and I were on the same page. We're like, hold
I'm
up.
glad y'all correct me.
what?
It's definitely red velvet cake is the real OG with some cream cheese icing.
Cream cheese and
What?
vanilla.
Okay, I'll pick the next one.
Are we eating a baby?
Dang.
Ew.
Okay, but
that's
no, red
nasty.
velvet with cream cheese. That's good.
It's a
That's
classic.
good. I just recently tried nothing bunt cakes. They're red velvet chocolate chip.
I got
one.
Ross that for his birthday cake. Needs to say he ate all of it almost on his
It's
own.
good.
It was
I've never
super good.
had red velvet with chocolate chips in it, and that was a good combination.
It's such a good
My
combination.
man Roz got a big sweet tooth. He loves all type of sweets.
And he loved his cake too.
Okay.
And
Roz, if
dead.
you're listening to this,
he's gonna say big facts.
yeah, that's what he said. He's gonna do his little trumpet that he always do, and he's like, facts.
But if you can comment that, Roz, that'd be great, because we would love some activity happening in the description, you know? Okay. My question is not a question. It says the perfect pizza has. Okay. My perfect pizza.
Don't, your shit has nothing on it but cheese.
No! It has more
Cheese
stuff on
and
it.
sauce.
I'm very picky when it comes to food, but my pizza is the pizza that I get everywhere,
Okay.
especially when I go to Urban Bricks. I get some like garlic seasoning on the crust, the entire crust, some olive oil and garlic, and some oregano on it. And then I get some white sauce. So I'll get the Alfredo sauce. It's the kind of pizza I like. And then I'll get the classic mozzarella. I'll add some cheddar. I'll add some ricotta. I'll add some Parmesan. And that's all the cheeses. I really like cheese.
Everyone does.
Yes.
It's literally
Sounds like
heaven.
a calling to the toilet.
It's not, though. Not for me. I don't have dairy issues.
I do.
Ring, ring, ring.
That would have been me.
And then after all the cheese, then I go no veggies because I'm not a healthy person. Straight up. Stop bumping the microphone. Stop it. No. You can answer one after we answer our four. Okay? You're not the guest today. It's not about you.
I'll do the bonus question.
Oh my gosh.
Johnny.
And then for my meats, I'll do pepperoni, I'll do ham, or some places call it Canadian bacon. And sometimes I'll do regular bacon. Sometimes I'll add a little spinach, but again, I don't like veggies, and so no veggies really. And then it gets baked, and then at the end, I'll do a little barbecue drizzle.
Dang.
Girl, that pizza's so good.
Let's see what it say. What it do. I wrote this.
Everyone always ends up picking a question they wrote.
Dang, I wasn't trying to get this one. I tried to
Over
get to you.
every time.
What does loyalty mean to you? Is the question.
That's
Roz,
a
stay tuned. Roz, pay attention.
I don't know. With my family, we big on loyalty. So even if we do wrong, we especially in front of others, like we keep a united front for the most part. So like even if
Even if you know someone's wrong,
brother's wrong, boyfriend wrong, best friend wrong, we not gonna let them know that's wrong.
yeah.
Like he was right. And like later on, I'm gonna check him. But like
you were
you just
wrong.
gotta, you just gotta keep that united front. I feel like that's where it is, but also not just a front, but like be really united. I think that's where loyalty is. Just because they may disagree with you doesn't mean that they're not being loyal.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, they really are being more loyal.
Yeah.
Trying to check you, but you're not gonna let nobody else check your family. You know what I mean? Like we can talk about each
You
other.
can check your own family,
but
you're
you're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Yeah.
So just being
Like we can give you shit. No one else can give you
basically
shit.
understand that family and where your loyalty lies.
Yes.
Is where loyalty is.
Yeah. Loyalty is loyalty.
Period.
I agree with your answer. All right. My final question. Why are all my questions about food today?
'Cause, girl.
What food do you dislike the most? So I dislike the most seafood. I don't eat seafood at all.
Friend.
Yeah. So here's my reasoning behind it.
Oh.
I used to eat it as a child.
Okay.
And then I think it was when I don't even know how old I was, but when I got to the age where I realized kind of what I wanted to be when I grew up.
Oh, okay. You have a path.
Yes. And when I decided, I was like, I want to be a marine biologist. I think that was the switch of like, I don't want to eat the fish anymore if I want to study them.
I understand that.
And the older I grew, just the more I was like, I don't want to eat seafood. Like, I'm not going to eat seafood, nothing like that. And then there was one day where I went to a Joe's Crab Shack because my family loves seafood. So I'll go to restaurants with them. I mean, when I was younger, I had no choice. And I'll eat something else in the restaurant. But one time when I went to a Joe's Crab Shack, I ate like chicken there or something. And that chicken got me so sick. I don't know if it was cooked with the same seafood. And I was like, something's messed up here. So ever since then, also. But as I grew up and then in college, I took a class on it was called Marine Resources. And I learned a lot about the fishing industry in that class. And that kind of helped validate my reasoning for not liking seafood and not eating seafood. Because I kind of got to learn more about how the differences between like farm raised fish and wild caught fish. And I got to see more the behind the scenes of the fisheries where people get their seafood from. And I got to read different articles and stuff like that. And there were articles by scientists that were saying if everyone continues eating seafood at the rate they are, by 2048, scientists are predicting we will have no more fish in the ocean.
Really?
That's the prediction from when I took that class years ago. So I haven't researched it lately.
In all walks of life, I feel like there's not that... I want to say like people go out and killing people, but I definitely feel like there's reasons why people like. I know there's rules to hunting and there's rules to things like we can't do this because it'll cause a shortage in this, or like we do need to release some of this because we'll have overpopulated communities and stuff like that. So I feel like I've never heard anyone say like, oh, we're gonna lose it.
Yeah, and
because the ocean is still undiscovered.
Exactly.
So it's
so much of it.
So weird to hear that. So.
Yeah, it was weird for me to hear it when I was in that class because I was like, there's no fucking way. Like, there's so many things in the ocean. And that was kind of one of my things when I was growing up is I wanted to be one of the people, which I still can be, one of the people that studies like parts of the ocean that have not been discovered yet. Like over 90% of the ocean has yet to be discovered.
That's so freaking
which is
why you
scary.
Won't ever catch me in the
but yeah, so the food I dislike the most is seafood, just because I want to like learn more about it rather than eat it and stuff like that. And personally, I felt like if I was eating I was taken away from my study. Yeah,
science, I definitely would not want to eat it.
But I know there are people who were in my
culture.
Field.
We eat seafood.
Yeah, and I know there were people in my field that like they love to eat seafood, and I'm like, all to you. My personal, it's kind of like people who are vegans
would weird me
and
out
shit.
a little bit.
Yeah, people who are vegans and shit. Like, those people, they care about those animals.
But it's a difference, sis. You not pressuring me
You're
not
right.
eating seafood.
Exactly. I'm not. They're going to...
Y'all get on my nerves, and I'll be the one to say it.
Yeah, no. And that's, I'm like,
pressing
you
on eating vegetables. I eat my vegetables. I eat my vegetables faithfully, and I still eat my steak.
I mean, do what you want to do. Yeah, I'm not going to be the type of person to be like, you're eating
press the
crab
issues
today?
And like press the issue
no.
like if there is a problem, I get it, but at the same time it's like you've been eating meat and stuff.
Yeah,
we stop playing.
But yeah, that's the only food I don't like. Like, I'm a very picky eater. There's a lot I don't like, but that's the one thing that I don't eat at all.
It's understandable.
Yeah,
it's your field.
Okay, bonus question by Jonathan by his request, and this is how we'll end the podcast. But for my outro.
Watch, it's always something that's dealing with my life right now. Every time.
I'm ready. Let's get on his case.
No gives back. So do you want that question?
Yeah, I just gotta go with it, you know?
What is it? I'll take this away before you can try to put something back.
Okay, I'm gonna change this up though, because whoever wrote this.
Let me see the handwriting.
Whoever wrote this.
I wrote on white paper.
Whoever wrote this was hoping for a fucking Disney character. It says, poof! A princess has arrived to pay for your all-expense-paid vacation. Where are we going?
Why do you gotta change that up? You just gotta say, where are you going?
Oh, well, it said a prince came. I'm not going with no prince. I'm going with a princess.
Okay, in that way you're gonna
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But someone showed up, poof, they're giving you all-expense.
Yeah.
Dead.
You made it seem like you were about to change the whole question.
No, I just changed the word.
Okay.
One word.
Answer.
Where are we going? Where am I going? Let's see.
Not including, like, coronavirus ain't happening right now.
Oh, yeah. Coronavirus. Oof. I don't know where I would go. Oh.
Where you going?
I'm dead.
Anywhere in the world. All expense. Honestly, all expense paid. Oh, man.
I know it's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Can I do in-state and out-of-state? Can I do both?
Question.
All right, I'm going to do both. So if it's on expense paid, right, and it's only in-state, I'll be like, yo, we're doing every single Disney park. Every Disney park. Every single one. We're doing both water parks, every single park, and
every single detail too.
Every detail.
Every single
I'm going back. We're going backstage. I'm getting in the castle. We're going to the downtown Disney. We're going to that one building. We're seeing Cirque du Soleil.
Castle.
We're going to we're going everything Disney World, like everything. I want the full entire thing of Disney World. That's exactly what I would do. Honestly, it don't even matter out of state. That's exactly what I would do right there.
That is out of state and well, actually, that's out of country and in country.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, because there's Disney World's out.
Yeah, Shanghai,
Yeah,
Tokyo,
I would go to
Paris.
every single Disney park, every single one, all expense paid.
And would you go to all the resorts? Because Hawaii has a resort.
Anything Disney World
They got
related.
island. Disney got island.
Oh yeah, the Keys, in the Keys in Florida.
I'm there. I'm there.
Oh,
No
damn.
questions asked.
You live on the island.
You'll see me there.
I know, right? Perfect.
I want to cut the lines too. I'm not waiting no lines.
yeah.
We're cutting the lines.
I need a fast pass.
No fast pass. It's called the all expense paid pass. You go straight to the front of the line.
I paid this much.
Pay up.
And no one gets on the coaster until I pick the seat I want to sit in, and then we go from there.
Facts. Big facts.
Is that your answer?
Yeah, that's my answer.
Okay.
Yeah, you take that back.
All right.
Only,
Bob Saget.
only Johnny. Only him.
Any episode. That is the end of this episode. Q, do you have anything you want to say? Anything
Thank
you
you
want to
to speak on my first podcast and many more
Yay!
to come. I'm so
Round of
grateful and I'm so
applause.
proud of you.
Thank you.
and thank you for all the lessons I got today.
So much life
Girl
has happened.
power.
Yes, girl power all the way. Well, everybody, that is the end of the episode. Close the door before don't let the dogs in. I'm not done yet. At the end of every episode, you win too. Damn. Q, thank you so much for being on an episode. Hopefully I didn't scare you away.
No.
But yeah, this concludes the episode of Life in Curly Cues. You can listen wherever you want to listen to podcasts. You can find me on Facebook and on YouTube if you would like to hear the episodes or watch my vlogs or look at the content I've been posting about my recent trip to Calgary. Well, it's not so recent anymore, but whatever. A vlog will be up eventually. Right now, my San Francisco vlogs are up if you want to go watch those. But yeah, you can listen wherever you want to listen. Do what you want. Don't do what you want. Do whatever.
Follow me at Stay at Q.
Yeah, go ahead.
On Instagram.
Follow Q. Her links will be in the description, so you can check her out. But other than that, I will talk to y'all later.